Yes, hello everyone. Good afternoon. So not waiting much for others. We'll be starting for today's session. So today we have with us Dr. David B. Dhruv sir for a webinar on how to plan for startup and legal and ethical steps organized by Department of Physics and Nanoscience and Advanced Material along with collaboration of IIC Saurashtra University. Dr. David B. Dhruv is Assistant Professor in Department of Physics at Saurashtra University. He will be sharing his expertise on planning for startups and navigating their legal and ethical aspects. Uh, it will be highly valuable for all of us and aspiring entrepreneurs for those interested in startup ecosystem. I welcome you, Dr. David Dhruv, sir, for this session, and I hand over this session to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I hope I am audible properly to all of you. And
Yes.
let's start our journey on the today's topic. So I'm just going to share my screen over here. First of all, I am very much thankful to the organizer for inviting me over here as and give me opportunity to share my thoughts on these planning of startup and legal and ethical steps. So hope here the present who are the present over here have been very enthusiastic to do some startup and some startup activity, or might be they are involved in such activity also. So let's begin with the some hypothetical presentations of the some informations. So today's my plan of presentation in this duration of 1 hour. I would like to describe and discuss with you on the how formalizing your startup, how you get the license and all the other activities once you start your startup. So my PPT is properly visible to all of you. Okay. So the taxation, labor law, intellectual properties, contract management, winding down. It might be possible in some of the cases. You are finding that after some work you have to wind up your startup. So how you can do that also step we are include over here. So these are the 7 steps which we have to follow. And before starting on the startup, I would like to discuss with you, with the startup or entrepreneur, that how an idea can be converted into the startup and how you can go through the formalizations to the winding down or contract management of your uh, startup. Okay. So before discussing all the ethical and all the work on the startup, let's we are discussing some of the very important aspect which is nowadays very important. Okay, how this is the case study, how the one student can convert his or her startup by using the incubation center or SSIP center. How can they convert a simple idea into the very important product? And this is the one example I'm sharing with you all, that the might be every one of you are knowing this machine. This machine is nothing but a simply we can say it is an electrolyzer. Approx, if you go in a market and ask the price of this electrolyzer machine, so price is near about to 2.75 lakh. Okay, many of you are aware about the price of this machine. Everyone is comfortable with the language. If any if you're finding any problem in the language or communication, let me know. Okay, so I'll go with these. Yes,
PPT full page.
full screen. Okay, is it in full screen, sir, or no?
No, no. It is
Okay, okay, okay. Is it, sir? Okay.
Yes, sir. Now it is.
Yeah. So I'll just give you some case study over here, the simple or one case study over here, how a simple product can be converted by using the some aspect of the little bit knowledge of the product, and how can we go to the through the and how can we make a product and start a startup, and then we are going with the seventh stage which we need to follow for the startup to the what ethical statement we require, or which kind of the patterning we require, which kind of the flow we require to complete our startup to the from the startup to the industries. Okay. So these the electrolyzer machines with a lot of companies are there, from the USA based, from the Japan based, from the other countries are also involved, and nowadays in India also two to three industries are there who are preparing these machine, which is electrolyzer, which is very important or which is very good. I'm not going in a deeper part of these, but instead of that, I just let you know the starting of this kind of machine. It is somewhat started in a 18th or 19th century. The main aspect of this machine is that they are creating the two kind of water without putting any kind of the chemical into the water. The people who are living in nearby to the cold area, okay, or very nearby the sea bank, they are finding the skin disease, and this skin disease is very problematic over there in that area. So by taking a medicine or medical treatment for skin disease is not a proper way, because it gives some side effect. To reduce that, the Japanese technology have identified how can we, using the electrical power, we make a water with some low pH or some acidic pH. And if you take a bath of that low pH, your skin disease will be, the chances of skin disease will be reduced. Okay. And then after, the people are finding that there is a one part becomes acidic, some other part becomes alkaline. And over here I am showing you the image how these machine work. To workability of this machine, you require two metal plates. Okay. One is negative charge, another one is positive charge, and in between them you require some kind of the diaphragm or some membranes over here. Once you apply the field to this machine or field to these electric plates, the water will be converted in two parts. Some part becomes more negative and some part becomes more positive. And due to that, the one part of water becomes acidic and another part of water becomes alkaline. And these are the segment. There is, you do not require only two plates, you require the bunch of plates, positive negative over there. And this bunch, whatever shown over here, is you can identify into this box. Okay. It means it is just nothing but simply I can say it is a metal plates in which you are just applying some power, and due to that power or electricity, this machine converting water with the two different water, acidic water as well as alkaline water. Okay. And for that you require such kind of the plates. For that, this shown is a diagram, and here you can say actual plates which we are using for this machine. So I thought about that when I heard about this machine, there is a question in my mind about how can be that is possible that these machines could be that much with the higher rate or higher price. So I go to the background of this machine, and I find out they required some platinum coated titanium plates. So I go to the India Mart or some other places, and I found out there is only one company from Tamil Nadu. Okay, they are preparing Chennai, Tamil Nadu. They are preparing these plates with the cost of 5,000 rupees per plate. It mean approx, if I'm talking about the 7 plate system of electrolyzer machine, and if they are using the 7 plates, and if I converted this 5,000 multiplied by 7, 55,000 rupees only. So main heart of this machine is little bit cheap, I can say, as compared to 2.75 lakh rupees. So keeping in mind these things, I have go beyond of that, and we have prepared these plates over here, in which we have purchased the titanium plates, which is so much cost effective, and coated with the platinum that can be also cost effective. That is not much price over there to coat the platinum on the titanium plate. You need just 1,000 rupees for a coating, not more than that. Okay, and we have prepared this bunch. Now the first concept, I have the idea, I have find out the solutions of that idea and find out the low prices as compared to that machine. Okay, so it becomes more interesting. If I am finding the price of this plate here near about to 5 lakhs or 50,000, I'm not going to prepare this machine. Once I have prepared this machine, whatever the diagram I have chosen, that is a quite different than the available in a market. So I can pattern this diagram. This is the heart of the machine. This is the heart of the machine. So I have to pattern it. Okay, I have to go for the designing pattern of this machine, of this heart. Rest of the simple characterizations, when you are in a product, in a market, when you go in a market, you have to keep all the documentations, all the proofs, all the laboratory testing, okay, database with you, that if you are going market, they asking everything in you. When you say anything to the people, you have the proof of that statement. And for that, you need to measure all the characterizations, whatever required to satisfy the question of that merchant. Now, after this preparation of that, there is a second problem with us, is that we have prepared this heart of the machine, but now this is the completely water circulation based phenomena, so which we are very lacking in that. Basically, I'm from a physics part, so water circulation I can do with the motor. But when I'm goes into that part, you can see here we required the one display system. When I'm commanding, water will start to flow with the proper voltage. If I want to take out the 7 pH, I need proper voltage. If I want to take some 11 pH, I need to give proper voltage. So voltage controlled as per the requirement. That is very important. And such kind of the control system I required over here, in which at that point I'm very poor. I do not know how to control and which kind of display systems are required. So I find out some of the collaborator from the engineering part, and they're helping me out in these preparations of this diagram. And they completely built up all the circuit required, a functional and fine circuit developed over here in a compact size. So I can put this all the phenomena in this small box. Okay, and after that we have tested of these higher pH alkaline water, we get a separation of that, and we have collected that data. Okay, obviously you are finding some messy look over here, because of this is our own laboratory where we are preparing all the things, all these relay key and all these things are there, so that is little bit messy. Okay, so these are some conceptual I am delivered to you all, that how can we prepare a single idea to the product. Might be it requires some time, but once you prepare it, you need to take the very mainly you need the satisfactory data of the machine, all the informations, all the data of machines. Second, the stability of machines. And third thing is that if you must have to use somewhere some unique part in that, and you need to change the designing of this device, and you can get patent of that. If you do that, you have sufficient formations of startup. So startup is obviously startup is a young company established by one or more entrepreneur. One entrepreneur or more than one entrepreneur can be participate over here, and they can deliver their thoughts and make some product or some creative ideas by which they can earn some money. So that is some important part of entrepreneur. Create unique and irrepressible product or service. Obviously, you can, which cannot be replaceable. You have to make such kind of, the uniqueness must be there. What kind of the uniqueness? The uniqueness is something what new. Uniqueness means something which is available, but you give some better way, okay, or some better quality. So quality betterment, price decrement, and important, something new can be given by the startup. Okay, it aim at bringing innovations and building idea quickly. Okay, so basically, obviously, the startup is only for that who want to do some innovations or some build their idea quickly. Startup helps everywhere. Okay, so in a startup, if you have started on startup program, so formalization, a business structure, and founders agreement, that is the first step. I have completed my idea, so I have to now formalize a form, a structure of firm, and I have to find some kind of, I have to do some agreement with my collaborators or with my some other parties. Okay, so what kind of the business you can do? The sole proprietorship. It might be possible some of idea can be done by solo person, so they can give the solo proprietorship. They can take a solo proprietorship in a business. Either they can form a private limited company, they can form public limited company, partnership, and limited liability partnership, LLP. Okay, so that is depend on the what kind of your product, what kind of the formalization of business you want to do, and after that you can find out how can you go and grow these industries or this business idea. Okay, so on that basis you can find out the nature and business of that. That is the very, that is the first step of your from your side. Okay, am I audible? Is it okay? Everything is fine? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. So second one, applying for a business license. Now you have formed, or you have to create your business structure. You have to find out the what kind of the business structure you are going for, and through that you need a business license. For a startup, it is very important to take a business license and every formality from the government side. Why? The answer of why I'll give you later, but it is very important. Okay, so business licenses are the legal document that allow a business to operate, while business registration is official process of listing business along with relevant informations with the official registrar. Okay, the common license that applicable to all the business is the Shop Establishment Act, which is applicable to all premises where trade business or professional is carried out. And other business license vary from industries to industries. So obviously, if you are creating your idea on the basis of some software, at that time you need just one office and some necessary availability of that. But instead of that, if you are going with the some kind of the I can say the, if you pharmaceutical base, some polymer base, some chemical based kind of business you are creating, so obviously you have to go with the some proper arrangement of the infrastructure. You have to go with the proper pollution licensing, proper channel work, and how can you prepare it, or a better way. Every licensing you have to need, and after only that you can go or you can run your business. Okay, the people who are working in this field, like a pharmaceutical and chemical and polymer, they have to very aware about that. They, obviously the chemical and pharmaceutical, some are the waste are very toxic, so they have to take care of that. Say for example, let me give you the example in Rajkot. If you're talking in a Rajkot, there is one of the biggest consumption in silica. It is a colloidal silica. Okay, the colloidal silica, every day, almost 100-ton consumption in Rajkot. This colloidal silica is cost is near about to 20 to 23 rupees. Okay, there is a grade obviously. If you are using the colloidal silica with the low grade, then the cost is about 20 rupees per kg. And if you are going with the high quality grade, then it cost is 23 rupees. Basically, this colloidal silica is only available in Jamnagar, the Gujarat Silicon Private Limited. They can only prepare it. Not a single industries in Rajkot. Why? Because when you produce the silica, colloidal silica, they they also produce a lot of toxic waste, and that's why the pollution board are not giving the license to produce these colloidal silica in Rajkot. Okay, so almost only even Jamnagar is selling these colloidal silica with this huge amount. So the moral of the story is that you need proper licensing, or you have proper license to following or to get these uh, to run your business. Okay, the common license that is applicable to all business is SOP Establishment Act, which is applicable, premises trade, and other business license vary from the industries to industries. Okay. Third one, undertaking taxations. I said that to you all that you need to take all the licenses. Why? If you want to take a benefit of this scheme, you need all the licensing, whatever required for industries or for your idea. Okay. Government of India, Startup India initiative, the income tax exemption for a period of 3 years, as well as tax exemptions from a capital gain and investment above fair market value with conditions. Okay, so for the 3 years, you need a huge tax benefit, income tax benefit from these kind of the startup program or under the Startup India initiative. So if you want to be eligible to get these huge benefit, then you have to go with all the licensing, whatever required for your product. The startup should not be more than 7 year old or 10 year for biotech. In biotech, you can go with the 10-year-old startup. So startup, once you start up, okay, once you started, you converting into the industrial form, and then you go with all the license. Now you have to register yourself in a Startup India initiative. So for that, if it is not more than 7 years old, then you can get this benefit. Is incorporated as a registered partnership, limited liability company, or private limited company. Okay, so in these formations, you will get the benefit. Turnover in any year should not have exist 25 crores, not more than 25, less than 25 crores. If you are earning much money from your startup within 1 or 2 years, so no need to take advantage of this income tax. Okay, that is should be list. This is the very important column in a startup India. Okay, so these what things with the startup, that is benefits from the startup. So understanding the taxation accounting laws, yeah, you can over here you can think on that how you can making some capital gain from the different aspect by just understanding of the taxation and account laws. Okay, the startup should not have been formed by splitting or reconstruction an existing business. Many people are doing such kind of the uh, activity which is not suitable for the startup India. So might be they are preparing some industries, and in that they are finding the huge turnover, somewhat more than 25 crore rupees. So what they are doing, they are making this separations in two company, and that's why all our business grow is down because it is separated. So 12.5 crore, 20.5 crore. Now they are eligible to get taxation benefit. So if you are doing that, you are in a threat. Okay, you are in a threat. You cannot get if you have a splitting or reconstruct an existing business. Okay, in both cases, you are not eligible. You are only eligible if you have startup is started within some framework, and this framework is not uh, get affected by some other framework. Okay, and your work is not more than 7 years, or in specifically biotechnology, it is 10 years. Okay. If you have any doubt, so let me know. Just raise your hand. We can discuss on it also. So adhering to labor law, that is very crucial and important part when you have when you rule the any company or any industries. The law with regards to minimum wage, gratuity. You have, this is a very important word, the gratuity. Many of the people are not knowing what is a gratuity. The gratuity is the phenomena in which if any workers work at your place more than 5 years, then he or she are eligible to get gratuity. Okay, it is a sum fund every employer have to give the employees when they are resign from their organization. But the term or the eligibility is the employee must have worked more than 5 years in the same organization without any break. Okay. PF payment, weekly holiday, maternity benefit, sexual harassment payment of bonus among other will need to be complied with. Okay. So in that, if you're making some startup, you're forming one industries, so you have to keep in mind all the things, they cannot be violated. If it is violated, you will be get affected into the getting the benefits from the government. Okay. The startup exemption 1 year to 9 law. Okay. In first year, you get some exceptions from these laws, the Industrial Dispute Act 1947, the Trade Unit Act 1926. You will be got a part of that, but you will be also bet if you are. It means that if you are doing one startup, one idea converted into the industries through the Startup India, you will be also get some relaxation from the low side. Okay. Also this part helps you. Okay, so this is the very important. You will be get a benefit from the your taxation part, as well as you get the relaxation from the law part. Okay. Ensuring protection of intellectual property, that I have shared with you that scheme for startup intellectual property protections. You can protect your intellectual properties, okay, by taking patent or trademark or whatever it is. Okay. And once you do that, once you have any idea, keep in mind that first of all you have need to find if there is anyone have the intellectual property rights of this idea or not. If they have, you have to find some another part, or you have to find some differentiation from them. Okay. The protection and commercialization of intellectual property facilitator have been impaneled by Controller General of Patents, Trademark and Design. Facilitators have startup by providing advisory servicing, assisting in a patent filing, disposal of patent application, among other services at minimum charge. So you will be get all the benefits. If you have any startup, go through this scheme, the scheme for startup intellectual property protections. You will be get some of the part of the fund, and you will be get your own trademark or design or patent. Okay. Ensuring the effective contract management as per the Indian Contract 1872. All agreement are contract if they are made by a free consent of parties competent to contract. Okay. Employee contract are one of the most crucial aspects to be looked into while starting a venture. Okay. So you need to take care of all the contract have been or you need to do during the your creations of the industries. Salary, scope of work, and stock options, non-disclosure agreement or NDA need to be drafted and used by startups. So before you go, do all the documentations, whatever required for the government side as well as from the low part. Okay. If any further detail anyone need, let me know. We can discuss in that. Okay. Detail about winding down the business. Now, after completion of all your work, if you want to winding down your business, some people are using the word wind up. It's not wind up, it's winding down the business. What you can do fast track exit mode, court or tribunal route, and voluntary closure. Fast track exit mode, you just shut down whatever the payment you have to give them, and you can declare you as a closed. The third one, voluntary, means you or do all the payment is and you clear your financial chart and just close it down your system or your business. And third one is through the court. In that, if you find you are not finding the guilty, you will be court give you relaxations and you can winding down your business. Okay, but you have to do that from through the court. Okay, so that kind of things. So these are the 7 steps you need to ethically, you need to protect your whatever the startup, to grow your startup, or without any kind of the problem. If you want to grow your startup, you need to go through these 7 steps. Okay, any questions in this part? Okay. Any question in this part? Okay, I am got that, it is okay. So we are going further now. These are the main focusing of my presentations. What I would like to tell you on the phenomena of the how you can run from startup to business. It is very exciting journey, and if you are taking the, or if you are getting the somewhat benefit of from the different part, you will be get more information on that. Okay, we are talk about the some of the innovations which I have did during my workout. Okay, I'm not going in a deeper part of that, but obviously this is the one case study over here. From the startup incubation center, we have the gate support to prepare this kind of the mask, which is antimicrobial and which is I can say it is antiviral also in the pandemic, in durations of the pandemic. This mask is somewhat help you to find protect yourself from the some germs and bacteria and funguses also. Am I audible? Okay. So in this mask, you can find that there is a lot of problems. So we have to find out. We have go with these in during the pandemic, where time where there is a lot of demand of masks. So we have prepared it in a startup. We get the fund. We have prepared it in our laboratory, and then we have to produce. We have make a production of 80,000 masks at that time. But we are witness of the huge change of the product demand when we have started the work on this particular mission. At that time, the almost the cost of a mask is 100 rupees or more than that. But when we conclude and we are in a market, at that time the mask price go down with the 10 rupees. So if you are taking innovations, it might be it is a betterment of the society, but sometimes you will not get a better impact of that as per the for that for your purposes in terms of the getting money. Okay, so that thing. These are the some of the research work, but I am not going in a deeper part of that. I think whatever I have to share with you, that I have shared in the format of these startup region only. These are the some other fundamental aspect in which we have prepared some superhydrophobic We are also getting the pattern on that, and this is right now very fascinating material which can be used in a hospital, especially in a hospitals, to restrict the patient from the secondary infections. And this is the important some solar cells pattern we have collected. Okay, and some photocatalyst activity we are working on right now. We are getting some kind of the publications as well as some pattern over here, and these are the some of the list of the ssip in which we are working together and taking the fund or taking the help from the ssip. Okay, so these are the things, these are the industrial collaborations, these are the facilities. Okay, so I can say thank you all of you for listening me over here, passionful, and I have put some minutes over here for a discussion part because I feel that if we are discussing more, we get more information for here, but it's all fine. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Does anyone have any questions? Just participants, do you have any question?
Yes, sir.
If you have any question, you can unmute yourself and ask. Otherwise, we'll be ending this meeting. Thank you, David, sir, for your valuable insights on how product development is working and what support we are providing at our incubation center. So all of you are welcome whenever we are having any innovative idea. Right? We are here to help you out. Thank you, David, sir, on behalf of Saurashtra University, and thank you all the participants for being here and getting this insightful session. So we'll be ending this session. Thank you, sir.